Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to Turn 3 Racing Network. I am Brett the Jet here on the mic once again for another great race. Tonight we have race number 6 from the Blazing Pedal Arca Series here at Kansas. The Blazing Pedal Arca Series is presented by TRJ Karting. Be sure to check them out for all your karting needs. Tonight should be a wild one. We have 34 cars on the premise here tonight, and it should make for some great racing action as Kansas is once again another dynamic track, so we'll see all sorts of lines being used, but the one we'll see the most is against the wall. We'll see who can keep it off the wall and who will put it right on the cushion here. A little bit of practice problems here from some of the drivers trying to find the limits. As practice winds on down here, we got under 3 minutes to go till we go to qualifying here. But first, we'll pay our respects. We had a driver out here. His grandmother passed away here, so this race will be in memory of Connie Onstein here tonight. You'll see her. She'll be on a few of the cars here tonight, and I know the 42 machine will be wanting to have a solid result for her. So here we'll take a moment of silence and pay our condolences from the Turn 3 family here. Alrighty, race fans, we are getting ready to wrap on up practice here. We'll throw up the best times on the top left here. Sam Bumgarn in the 57 machine is going to be tonight's quick time here in practice. John Perkins in the 33. Jamie Walker always near the top of these timing and scoring. Corey Sherman, one of the Shermanators out here, and Dalton Kilroe, Captain Fuel Save, rounds out our top 5 as we're in the last minute of practice. Everyone getting ready for their qualifying runs, seeing what their cars can do. Make sure there's no issues in the cars, and we'll get ready to head to qualifying. As we see everyone flooding in on the YouTube chat lands. Welcome everyone. Welcome all the viewers. Tonight should be a great one. As we get ready in the final few seconds. And here in qualifying in the second half of it, we'll try and talk to our second place finisher last week of Chris Carroll. We'll try and get him dialed up in that 24 machine, see what he thought his race was like at New Hampshire. But first, now we'll go over to qualifying. Be sure to let us know who you're cheering on, who you're rooting for here tonight. I know we always got a lot of number 12 fans out here. We'll see if that's the case in the YouTube chat lands as we're getting the first cars to roll off of pit road here. As one of the cars rolling out off, looks like it will be the number 24 machine. So we'll be talking to this driver hopefully here in a few minutes. We'll let him put in his qualifying time and see where he can place this 24 USAFirearms.com machine. As he rolls into turns 1 and 2, you see him already against the top side, against that wall. most likely trying to build up their lap times. We'll have to see if anyone decides to try and run the bottom side, at least in one of the corners. I know that can be a little bit faster on some fresh tires just for only a lap. Then that top side becomes so dominant here around Kansas as the 24 machine completes his first lap. Goes P number 9 on the top side, so we'll get the tower loaded on the left-hand side here. But so far, he was quickest in practice. Not quickest anymore in qualifying. Corey Sherman goes to the top of the board. He is so far the quick time here tonight. We see where the 24 ends up here as he crosses the start-finish line. He goes to P number 3 as Dalton Kilroe goes to the top now. We have the 54 of Matt Grunberg rolling onto the speedway here. I actually got the pleasure of racing against this 54 driver last Thursday in the Road to Pro race at Richmond. So it was pretty cool to be racing against this guy. Definitely got a lot of skill in him because I was fighting pretty hard. And we actually got to battle a little bit, so had some fun racing against him as he starts his first time lap here. Alrighty, folks, as Matt Grunberg resets that 54 machine, must have not liked how that car was feeling. But we got Chris Carroll here in the booth, just put down his qualifying time. Put in the top 5 so far, Chris. How's your qualifying here now that I have a chance to talk to you?
I'll be honest, I'm shocked. I have almost 0 laps around Kansas in a tight setup, and pretty happy to be as high as I am on the board there, to be honest.
Yeah, that definitely was pretty good lap. I was amazed you ran both laps against the wall. Usually here at Kansas, at least in like the Xfinity car or whatnot, you know, you can at least drive it down to the bottom and make it stick on these cold tires, but definitely not the fastest for a long run. But both laps you're against the wall. Was that the game plan?
Yeah, if I knew what I was doing at Kansas, I probably would have run the bottom in qualifying. But like I said, I get so few laps around here. I'm just trying to go where it feels good.
Alrighty, man. Well, this track is definitely a tricky one, right against the wall, probably all night tonight. You pretty good dirt track racer? Because usually dirt track racers do pretty good here as quote-unquote running the cushion, let's say.
I've been running a little dirt. I can't lie to you. I've been messing around with it, so maybe that's going to help me tonight.
Alrighty, Chris. Well, going back to last week at New Hampshire, that car seemed pretty fast. What'd you think of it? How's that running? How'd you end up in second place?
Well, that place was it was tricky. I didn't quite know how to get around there, and I kind of learned as I went. And I didn't feel real good on a long run, but I felt good on the short run, and I felt like I was getting in and out of the pits real good. And I ended up with an extra set of tires at the end. I was saving a set there. I think if I'd have run those tires, we could have been in victory lane.
Yeah, it definitely was an awesome showing from all you guys. Only had the stage caution, so it definitely was a long, grueling race. But overall, coming out in second. So, Chris, what's your expectations tonight here at Kansas? You said you didn't have too many laps, so what's kind of the mindset here?
Well, I'm just trying to keep it off the wall and run as clean as I can, as long as I can, and see where I come out. If it was a track I knew and a track I was comfortable with and a set I was comfortable with, I'd have higher expectations. But we're just going to try and keep her clean and see how it works out.
Alrighty, Chris. Well, before we let you go and fully get in the race mindset here at Kansas, I'll open up the floor to you and let you say a few words, give a shout out to some sponsors for the 24 team here.
Well, I got to thank Dalton Kilroe for putting me in the car and Mark for letting me know that it was available. Always got to thank USAFirearms.com with Brian Zimmerman and the Pit Lizard Performance Boys. And all you guys for putting on the broadcast, man. It's I watch that broadcast back. You guys are pretty good at it.
Alrighty, well, thank you, Chris, and thank you for going out there, being a competitor out here in the Blazing Pedals League and putting on some good racing. Chris, best of luck to you tonight, and hopefully can talk to you here after the race.
Thanks, Brett. Appreciate it, man.
Alrighty, folks, that was our second place finisher last week, Chris Carroll. Pretty excited here tonight as Jamie Walker now to the top of the board. He is the MF Racing Designs pole sitter as they sit right now, but that could change in a heartbeat at any time. So he's sitting at the top of the board. Dalton Kilroe in second, Taylor Butcher Benjamin third, Sam Bumgarn fourth, and Corey Sherman rounding out your top five. Mark Arthur, who we're looking at now, just missed out on the top five. He is sixth, tied with Sherman, as we get another driver here out on track. But while they do this, we will go to the old wheel spin screen and give this wheel a good old spin. See what we can get for a competition caution if we get one tonight. We'll let it spin and find on out here. And we get one very early tonight, 65, lap 65. If there is one, we'll get the caution there. So we'll go back and see the lap time for the 17 machine. His first lap was the slowest to take a time. This will be his money lap for Brian Dees. And the 17 machine will jump all the way up into P number 8. So he will sit inside the top 10 here, as Terry Foster does take a lap as well. He goes P number 17 on lap 1. Here's lap number 2 from the Taffy Man. He's heading down this backstretch for the final time in qualifying, trying to keep that momentum up, trying to keep the speeds as optimal as he can. As he comes off of turn number 4, he'll cut it down all the way to the grass, make that front stretch as short as possible, and he will go P16. As he jumps off the racing surface. So it looks like Jamie Walker will be tonight's MF Racing Design front row award. Same with Dalton Kilroe. So both of those cars will be tonight's front row and get the MF Racing Design award as they sit. As we get back here, we'll go. All the drivers getting ready, getting in the mindset here for this race. We got a long one on hand, but a good one nonetheless. This track will be very tricky for these drivers to keep these cars out of the wall, especially that right rear, folks. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The right rear hangs on out. They yaw these bodies of these Arca cars. So if you get close to the wall, that right rear will get you into the wall. Then once you get that right front, it's like being in quote-unquote wall glue. Your car gets stuck on there, and you really got to slow down or yank it and hope no one hits you. You don't lose control of that car to get it unstuck. But we will go down to grid side here with the cars and go through tonight's starting order. Jamie Walker in the 88 machine puts it on pole. Dalton Kilroe will start outside pole. Taylor Butcher Benjamin in third. Sam Bumgarn in fourth. Corey Sherman rounds out the top 5. Mark Arthur will start to his outside. Row number 4 will be made up of Chris Carroll. We talked to him pre-race. And to his outside, Brian Dees. Ty Marasco starts 9th, and Brandon Feeney rounds out the top 10. 11th starter will be John Perkins. To his outside, Jordan McAvoy. 13th will be Ian Habiak for the TRJ Karting machine. Randy McAvoy will start behind Jordan McAvoy. Race Clark will be 15th. 16th is Terry Foster. Jason Powell 17th. Philip Van Fleet 18th. 19th is Kyle Wellerman. Tanner Marr rounds out the top 20. 21st is Amanda Sherman. 22nd is Joe Alberico. 23rd is Paul Ellison. Josh Rutherford 24th. 25th, Corey Rutherford. 26th, Derek Paulson. Blake Decker will start 27th. 28th will go to Casey Campbell. Matt Gruenberg 29th. James Miller 30th. Last week's winner, Rick Hammond 31st. Chris Legou 32nd. And rounding out our field, the final row, Cody Gibson will be 33rd. And rounding out our field tonight, Nick Akie is 34th. As these drivers are getting ready to go racing here, the lights are out on the pace car. We see a few different schemes here tonight. I like it as the sun starts to set here at Kansas. The pace car is down pit road. We'll wait for the 88 to fire on off. And we are green flag racing here at Kansas Motor Speedway. As the 88 machine gets a great start here and will clear himself. That puts the 10 and the 41 side by side going into turn number 1. Even though the inside line's not the way to go. At least lap 1 it is. You can make up a lot of spots on the inside, but now you'll want to be on the top side here by turns number 3 and 4. As we see a lot of these front runners already up there. But Mark Arthur trying to make that bottom work. You just got to give that time for that bottom to come in, for that top side to heat up too much as everyone starts running it. And slowly that inside line can start to come on in. As we see some side-by-side battling, almost 3 wide throughout this field, but thinking better of it. Mark Arthur looking like he's going to slide on in. But Chris Carroll and Corey Sherman still side-by-side for the 6th position. Man, you see Corey Sherman really drive it in there, roll that middle the shorter way around. He won't have the run as the 24, but able to take that spot away from the 24 machine. As now we got the 17 of Brian Dees on the attack, getting around Chris Carroll as well. So that starts to single file out the front. But Sam Bumgarn looking to get back to the point here. He is running in fourth, trying to get around the number 12 Barbie machine. He's the car down low. Mark Arthur up top. As we look a little bit further back, the cars that are on the charge, of course, it's the 54 machine of Matt Gruenberg. He's looking to make his way through this field, and almost 3 wide as the 55 of Paul Ellison goes from the low side to the top side. This 54 machine really rolling that bottom nicely, really hugging that white line. As up front, we got a battle for the race lead. Taylor Butcher Benjamin down low in the 10 machine. Jamie Walker up top. Jamie Walker not in the bright neon yellow Menards machine tonight. He's in the Mountain Dew. Not sure which flavor it is, but in the Mountain Dew number 88 machine. Probably high voltage if I had to guess. As Dalton Kilroy running in third. Fourth, Mark Arthur, and rounding out the top 5, Sam Bumgarn. And now they'll switch lanes here. The 10 will try the top side. 88 will go down low. As the 88 of Taylor Butcher Benjamin does get a nose to the high side. The 10 machine gets a nose to the high side of the 88 machine. And Taylor Butcher Benjamin will have the run off of turn 4. Will the 88 block it? No, but he'll go all the way to the bottom, make this track as short as possible. As once again, the 10 will just get his nose to his outside here. This is the tough corner to run the bottom 1 and 2. Very hard to make it stick. And they will drag race down this back stretch. The 10 machine now with the advantage by half a car length. He just got to make sure he hits his marks and gets a good run off this corner, and he should be the new race leader. Give it to the 10 machine. We got a question. Is that Dale? Nope, it's the Savage Edge number 3 machine driven by Corey Sherman. That is running in the 5th position as we have one car in the wall, a little bit slow on pace. Looks like it's maybe the 17 machine of Brian Dees. And just that one wall hit, he moved back at least 5 positions. Probably closer to 10. So that's how much it affects these cars just getting in the wall even just a little bit. As another big mover of this race so far is in fact the 42 machine of Kyle Wellman. He is up 6 spots here early in this race, up to P number 13 on the back bumper of the 02 machine of Race Clark here, with Terry Foster behind. As Matt Gruenberg continues to get through this field, he is up the biggest mover. He is up 11 positions in that Nike number 54 machine. He's back with the yellow. As here on track we got some side-by-side racing here. Amanda Sherman down low as the 38 machine in the wall. He's in that wall glue. I mean, you see, folks, how much these cars get stuck with that contact. Still can't get it off the wall. Finally gets it off with a huge rip, and that will move the 38 machine all the way back to 32nd position. So a tough break here, and he'll have to have a big rebound as we go back up to the battle here. I think another car got the wall, at least going into turn number 1. We heard it in the camera there with that shot. As we look up a little bit further, Chris Carroll in that 24 machine applying the pressure to Mark Arthur. He's trying to make that top side work, and we're already seeing some of the handling going away on these cars early. We're going to have to keep that in mind here, because this track gives a weird complex, folks. It starts off being really tight. Well, it first starts off pretty neutral with the fresh tires. Then it starts getting tight where it doesn't want to turn on corner entry, and kind of tight on corner exit to keep you away from that wall. But then as the tires continue to wear and get even more heat in it, they start to build really loose. All of a sudden, you'll feel it at the apex, want to step out on your on corner exit, and you start breaking traction really easy. As we see the 10 machine, man, almost kissed that wall in 1 and 2. He didn't have an inch to that wall. As we see the 41 of Dalton Kilroe now throwing his name in this hat for the race lead. He's just trying to wait for an open lane, as now Jamie Walker makes that inside work and will be side by side for the race lead here. Going into turn number 1, we'll see this 88 dive it down to this inside, arc it down to that white line, just get it, and then jump on that throttle. As these guys will have to pit once before our competition caution. But how they break it up will be up to these drivers and crew chiefs here tonight. As so far, 17 laps down, all have been green flag, and with a whole lot of side-by-side action. As the race lead continues to develop, these two have not been able to break away from each other, still side-by-side. As now Sam Baumgarten has joined the mix behind Dolan Kilrow, waiting for an opportunity. 88 tries to shut the door on the 10. Just has to move out of the way, just quite not able to make it work. Now Sam Baumgarten will go to the bottom side. So now we'll have 2x2, 2 rows deep here in the top 4. And now Corey Sherman in the number 3 machine is looking to join this battle. And with these front runners being side by side, folks, this is just allowing the rest of the field to catch on up, and that is what's happening. As Mark Arthur now reeling them in with Chris Carroll as well. As Ian Habiak tags the outside wall coming off of turn number 2. He only loses a handful of spots, so it could have been a lot worse for the number 16. As we jump back up to the front, Jamie Walker able to reclaim the lead. Taylor Butcher Benjamin is in second. Dolan Kilrow now under fire from the 57 machine. And then the 3 machine under fire from Mark Arthur. He's to the inside. They battle side by side. 12 car down low. Number 3 up top. Mark Arthur able to get around that 3 car and put himself inside the top 5. Now he's got some tough customers in front of him. The first one he's got to take on is the 57 of Baumgarten, who's right on the back bumper of the 41 as they go down this backstretch. The 12 might be trying to use the 41 as a pick for the 57. As Mark Arthur really able to roll that middle very nicely. And holy smokes, folks, able to clear the 41 coming off of turn number 2. So almost a 2-for-1. Mark Arthur, a man on a mission, running that inside line. Now up to P number 3. And that car's looking very sporty. Looks like he can go wherever he wants to on the track. As we see now the 41 also going to the bottom side, trying out these different lines. As that will be the name of the game tonight, folks. Everyone trying to search with this dynamic racetrack for the groove, where the track's the coolest, where they can really put their car where no one else has. As we'll see that all night tonight here at Kansas. As a little bit further back, we got some racing action here. The 18 gets around the 16 for Pete, number 14. The 4 of Tanner Marr right in front as well. He is up 7 positions. He's looking pretty good for that snap-on number 4 machine. Another driver up 7 positions as they run. It's the 42 machine of Kyle Wellman. Wellman out here in the 12th position as they run right now. He is ripping that top side, trying to make it work. Actually a little bit different line. He's running the top on entry, but then the middle on exit. We'll have to see how that works, how these tires end up. As Mark Arthur now gets around Taylor Butcher Benjamin for second. He is now trying to chase down our race leader. That would be the 88 of Jamie Walker. Now Sam Baumgarten to the outside of the 10 here in turns 3 and 4. As we see how close these drivers just get to that outside wall, especially off of turn number 4. That will be a hot spot for contact with that outside wall here tonight. pretty much the off of 2 it can happen, but not nearly as much off of 4. And off of 4, when you get that, you get a ton. It'll leave your car with a lot of damage. As we see the start of green flag pit stops, we got 3 cars in so far, and now we'll make it a few more as the 57 is down pit road. He'll roll on down and come on in as we see the rest of the drivers that came in early head down pit road. So it is the start of green flag stops, and that means, folks, we'll have 2 pit stops before our stage break. As I hear him some more call outs pitting. One will be this 24 machine of Chris Carroll. This pit road is a little tricky. It can get a little bit loose from the banking too there as the 24 carrying a lot of speed. And that will be a penalty, folks. He definitely had way too much speed and he clipped the cone. So hopefully it's not a compound one where it's speeding and unsafe pit entry. But he definitely got the speeding, and I think he probably got a unsafe pit entry, as that would be a big bummer for the 24 machine running in the top 5. But now Tanner Marr takes over the point. He is the race leader in the middle of these pit cycles. As this time by, he will bring it on down. He'll bring it down a lot earlier than we saw those race leaders. Those race leaders really tried to push it to the last second to make it on down. And you see how easy that it can go bad for that 24 team as these guys all make it safely down pit road. And that will complete. Oh, it's contact down pit road. I think that was the 2 Rutherford boys making contact on pit road. We'll try and get another shot, as it was the 2 Rutherford on pit road. So that's going to be a interesting team meeting there. As we click over to lap number 29, Jamie Walker out in front still. Mark Arthur second, Dalton Kilrow third, Sam Bumgarn fourth. And as they filter on out, it looks like this will be the battle for 5th position between John Perkins and Race Clark, as most of these drivers did not take any tires, only a splash and go, saving those sets because they only got a limited amount. Not every pit stop can be taking tires in this league, so they got to use them wisely, as only 1 car took tires, and that is the 42 machine of Wellman. So he will be a man on a mission here, trying to take advantage of that fresh set of tires, and he is doing just that as he's passing cars around him like they are standing still. This 42 machine is on rails, being on fresh tires. So even after 30 laps, a huge difference in times. As we got a battle heating up as well for 3rd place. That is Dalton Kilrow down low. Sam Bumgarden up top. As we see the 41 machine still trying to hang on to that position, but now Sam Bumgarner will take over that position. Mark Arthur still has about the same gap to their leader, but Kyle Wellman now inside the top 5, and he's looking to reel in these race leaders. Already shaved off about 4 seconds, I want to say, folks, already, and looking to keep on eating away at that time. But Matt Gruenberg slowly and methodically has made his way through this field just outside of the top 10 as they run. As I think the 10 car also got a penalty there. He is being scored a lap down. Same with the 73, the 1, the 3, 24. So a lot of front runners here early, folks, having trouble with pit road and picking up some penalties from it. As yeah, they have all received a penalty. Here we see the 64 machine of Josh Rutherford. We saw his issue on pit road. Looking to rebound here a little bit as he applies the pressure to the 38 liquid moly machine of Brandon Feeney. As we go back up to the front here, Kyle Wellman is in P number 3 as they run with those fresh tires. About 3 seconds back from the race leader and still gaining. As you see Brian Dees now getting overtaken from the 6 machine of Paul Ellison, as we see Gruenberg in the wall. A man that we don't see make too many mistakes. The 54 machine hard in that outside wall off of turn number 4. That will cause him to lose a couple spots, but more importantly damages that 54 machine. So we'll have to see how that affects the car, because this is a 1.5 miles, folks. Aero does take into account, so a rare mistake we see from that 54 machine. We'll see how he bounces on back. That moves him back to 13th as they run. As we see Kyle Wellman get around Mark Arthur for P number 2. Now he sets his sights on the race leader. That would be the 88 of Jamie Walker. Walker now about 1 second ahead, and this 42 machine is coming. He is gonna take the race lead here in about a lap and a half is my guess. We had one car way off the pace there, off of in the middle of 3 and 4. Not sure who that was, but someone very slow as we watch the 42 reel in the 88. And this will be the battle for the race lead as they head through turns number 2. 88 will get the outside lane. The 42, excuse me. The 88 left the outside lane open. And Kyle Wellman is now the new race leader. 42 machine leads the point here on lap number 40. As that car is hooked up, but he did use a tire set early, so we'll have to see how the strategy unfolds for this 42 Pontiac machine. I gotta keep the camera on the 42 machine just to say this fun fact here. On lap number 42, folks, the 42 car leads the way of Kyle Wellman. So awesome stuff to see that 42 machine out here in front. As we look a little bit further back, battle heating up here through around 8th through 11th. On track here as the 6 of Derek Paulson applying the pressure to Jordan McAvoy. You hear McAvoy really playing with the throttle there, trying to put it down. Maybe give the spot to the 6, knowing that it's not quite time to battle. But the 6 machine looking pretty good here. He is driving through this field as well. As now he sets his sights on the 02 machine of Race Clark. One guy I haven't talked about too much of this race. He won last week. Looking to do it again here. He is up 24 positions as they run just outside the top 5. That would be the 09 machine of James Miller. As this battle continues to rage through 8th through 11th here, Race Clark has now slowly been catching this 18 car, but Derek Paulson has been catching the both of them as well. Some of the closest battles on track as they run right now, folks. The 18 almost get that wall. He played with the air bubble there. That is for sure. He almost got it. Like I said, I don't think he had a centimeter that time compared to the 10 machine, because that thing was right against the wall, as close as you could get it without actually getting it. As now the 6 of Derek Paulson goes to the inside of the 02. This is the battle for 9th. As the 6 doesn't go all the way down, makes the 02 go the extra long way around the front stretch. As long as both drivers are on the same terms with it, you know, and no miscommunication and some sort of incident, that usually can work. And the 6 machine able to get on around, give him P number 9. Now he sets his sights on the 18 machine. As we see the blue and black 24 machine also enter the picture. He is sadly not racing for position with any of these guys. With that penalty, he is trapped a lap down as they run. As the 6 machine makes easy work of the 18, move the 6 into P number 8. Now he's got a long gap, 2 seconds to the next driver in front. That'll be the 33 machine of John Perkins here, shown on screen. James Miller slowly starting to catch Dalton Kilroe, but I don't think it'll be enough by the time we get the next green flag pit stops. As Philip Van Fleet applying the pressure to the 83 of Joe Albrico. These guys battling pretty hard for the 16th and 17th position. They got the one car in front of them. That is Ty Marasco. He is a lap down another driver with a penalty from the first round of pit stops. As we see Blake Decker, he is going to be the first down pit road. He'll start green flag pit stop cycles number 2, the 92 machine, down pit road. Same with the 09 machine of James Miller. He'll also lead the way for green flag pit stops. And they have begun, folks, here on lap number 51. As we look to the race leader, continuing to put cars a lap down. Now we'll put the 5 machine of Corey Rutherford a lap down. As we see there on screen, the 8 of Amanda Sherman down pit road as well. These drivers can probably just do a splash and go of fuel. Don't have to wait for it to be fully on up. Or they can gamble, fill it up here, and then don't have to be on pit road as long for the competition caution pit stop. So it's all really coming down to the crew chief here with some major strategy with how much fuel to put in these race cars here on this pit stop, as we see the 42, our race leader, heading down to pit road. He'll come in for his scheduled stop. This will hand the race lead back over to the 88 machine of Jamie Walker. As we see some 3 wide action. Holy smokes, folks. Jamie Walker threading the needle from the 8 and the 77 and shoots his way through the gap. Somehow just misses contact from both of them. And he is putting that machine anywhere he needs to on this track, trying to run the most optimal laps he can. As you see the 42 out of pit road here. As we now have the 57, the 33, 54 all coming down pit road as well. I don't know if anyone's going to try and stretch it. I don't think they can stretch it to all the way to the end. It would be a very impressive feat to see someone in there, as we see the 92 right in front of the race leader in the wall. And now also has the 38 a little slow in front of them as well as he gets up to speed. That'll be the 38 of Feeney, trying not to go a lap down to the race leader. And now we got Ian Haybiak down pit road, Race Clark, Jordan McAvoy, all of them down pit road here on lap number 56. Brian Dees and Joe Albrico also down pit road here. The question is, when do these top 5 decide to come on in? Looks like that would be right now, folks, as the 88 woes his Mountain Dew machine to pit road speed. Mark Arthur will stay out and inherit the race lead. He will lead this lap as he almost tags the wall heading into turn number 1. We hear him really lifting. We'll jump on board with the number 12 machine for the MF Racing Designs onboard and try and listen to how much he's lifting and floating that car in, as we hear just how much he is, folks. As actually it'll be the TRJ Karting onboard, excuse me. As we hear the 12 trying to stretch it to the end. As he gets the wall big time into one, trying to clutch and shut off these race cars. These drivers doing a lot in the cockpit to save fuel, because it's very tricky, folks, to not only have to clutch it but brake, and then when you reload the car up by dumping the clutch, it's hard to keep it straight because it wants to do all sorts of funny things. As we're right on board with the 12. Holy smokes, that thing was on edge. He had to crisscross that thing. He was all over the place. I don't know, folks, if he made pit road speed. It definitely was close, so we will have to see as this 12 car will find his pit box here and make it into there. That was close. But as the 12 and the 4 pit, that will hand the race lead back over to the 42 of Wellman. And he will lead the way here on lap number 59, trying to put the 92 of Blake Decker a lap down. Same with the 5 of Corey Rutherford. All of these drivers racing the leader very hard. They don't want to go a lap down and have to bank on the lucky dog if they don't have to. As Wellman has a very large gap to second place. It's a 6.5 second gap, so he doesn't have to push too hard if he doesn't want to. But if he puts more cars a lap down now, it's less cars he's got to battle with on the lead lap if he can help it. So he is trying to drive that 42 machine to the limit. We have the 73 on fresh tires coming up behind in a hurry. That'll be the 73 machine of Casey Campbell. As the 92 gets the wall just a smidge on corner entry. That'll give the advantage to the 42, and he's able to clear him. As they run right now, they put up to P number 17 a lap down, so about half the field as they run a lap down. As the top 5 as they run for Kyle Weldman in the 42 machine out front, Jamie Walker in second, Sam Bumgarden in third, James Miller in the 09 machine inside the top 5. In fifth is, one car sideways. That's the 92 machine of Blake Decker, and this will probably be the stage caution as Blake got a little bit out of shape coming off of turn number 4, and that will bring out the yellow, as we'll get a replay here as the 92 already sideways gets the door of the 5 of Corey Rutherford. And the 92 machine just along for the ride, spins it out through the grass, keeps it out of harm's way. But a tough break for that 92 machine. And that will bring out our first yellow right in time for the stage caution. As we'll see all the leaders come down pit road, as just kidding, Jamie Walker with the fake out. He says, I don't need to come in, as he is one of the only cars to do that. He's the only one that did not pit there. The 55 of Paul Ellison also stays out, as we see all the other cars coming into their boxes. We see the 54 and the 09 machine both in the back of these pit stalls. They both said they like to be pitting in the back. That's why they don't take a qualifying time. Nice and easy in and out of their boxes. As we had about 6 cars stay out here, folks, and not pit. That'd be the likes of the 88, the 55, the 4, 89, 64, and the 83, all staying out here. We'll have to see if they continue to stay on out. As with this first yellow, folks, we'll go over some race info while I got some time. So this is race number 6 at Kansas. Of course, Blazing Pedals Arca Series is presented by TRJ Karting. We're at the 1.5 mile Kansas Motor Speedway here. A nice cool night, 73 degrees track temperature. Started off 78. I bet we're closer to the triple digit marks in the track temp, but it'll start to cool on down now that the lights have been turned on the racetrack, and it cools on off. Of course, Blazing Pedals is presented by the following sponsors as well: TRJ Karting, Michael Falk Racing Designs, Savage Edge. They'll put your graphics on anything, and of course, Butt Kicker. If you want to improve your sim setup to the next level, be sure to check them out as well. If you're looking to improve your karting or get into the world of karting, be sure to check out trjkarting.com. As these boys have had an awesome run to begin with, it looks like we'll have 4 drivers stay on out with this strategy Just kidding. Make it 3 as the 89 of Philip Van Fleet will come on down. Same with Joe Alberico. So make it 2 drivers stay on out with the strategy. It'll be the front row. It'll be Jamie Walker and Paul Ellison, as all the rest of these drivers did take tires. As both these front runners actually did take tires on their last stop. So these front 2 have about 3 laps or so on, more than that, excuse me. Probably around 10 laps or so on these tires. So they will have to, it'll be interesting to see how they do it. As the lights are extinguished on top of the iRacing pace car, the field is doubled on up. We'll be going green this time by. As we've had quite a bit of a shakeup in the top running spots. A lot of drivers, especially front running drivers, having trouble with pit road and getting penalties. As we'll wait for the iRacing pace car to head down pit road. It does that now. We'll wait for the 88 of Jamie Walker to fire on off. He fires off and we are back. Green flag racing here at Kansas. Kyle Wellman will be to the inside of Paul Ellison. He'll have the preferred line in 1 and 2. He can go anywhere he wants. Now the 55 under fire from a lot of cars behind him. Bumgarden will get on around him, or at least try to. Not quite clear of the 55, rolling down this backstretch. 55 able to carry the momentum. Now the 09 of James Miller sails it on into the bottom in that inside line, and wow, just clears the 55. I mean, they didn't have half a foot between them. Able to just shut the door there and get the spot. So the 09 machine up into 4th. Now Jason Powell on the attack, but Matt Gruenberg right behind as well. He's looking as sporty as ever. Hard battling on track here, folks, throughout this field, as Gruenberg now trying to get around the 55 machine. This will put Matt Gruenberg inside the top 5 for the first time tonight, and he does it there. Jamie Walker still out in front. Kyle Wellman in second. Sam Bumgarden in third. And of course, James Miller and Gruenberg rounds out the top 5 as they run. Looking a little bit further back, we got some guys battling on the 6, now trying to apply the pressure to the 21 once again. A little bit further back here, a big time battle for the last transfer spot being made up of the 3 and the 1, with the 10 also thrown in there. As the 1 of Ty Marasco just shuts the door on the 3. The 3 will now go to the bottom. And then in front of them we got the 10 machine of TBB up top of Tanner Marr. Right now, Taylor Butcher Benjamin is the first car lap down, so that's who the 3 and the 1 are trying to race here for the lucky dog, if there is in fact another yellow. As now the 3 will try and use the 4 as a pick on the 1. Looks like that will be done as they come off of turn number 4. The 3 not quite clear, can't go to the top side like he probably wanted here in 1. As you now hear clear. And now we'll try and reel in the 10 for that last transfer spot. I should say the lucky dog spot. As Kyle Wellman challenging for the race lead up top. He will clear the 88 of Jamie Walker and will take over the race lead here once again on lap number 74. Now Sam Bumgarn will follow suit. Will be on the back bumper of that 42 machine. As we see Kyle get a little bit loose there. You see the car get a little out from underneath him. Now the 54 applying the pressure to the race leader. He'll try and cut it low and challenge for the race lead off of turn number 4. The 57 of Bumgarn down low, 42 of Wellman up top. As they are door to door down the backstretch. Advantage to the 42 machine, able to carry that momentum, really wind that car on up and send it out like a slingshot up top. You get such good runs on the top side here, folks. That's really hard to make it pass on the bottom. The only way you can do it is if you really roll that entry and middle good and can just put down enough power to slide across someone's nose. As don't look too far back, folks. The bright yellow machine is coming. That would be the 54 machine of Gruenberg. As we see the 57 thinking about making another attack on the race leader. Now for third, we got a battle. Gruenberg to the inside of the 88. 88 will let him on go. Move Gruenberg to P number 3 with the leaders side by side here once again at Kansas. The 42 definitely struggling with traction off of 2 once again, a little bit sideways. That's going to start heating up that right rear, making that thing looser and looser, especially on corner exit. As the 57 able to clear the pass, he'll go low, he'll lead this lap. So Sam Bumgarn, new race leader, but it might not be for long as the 54 of Gruenberg is hungry and to the inside of the 42. A little bit update further on back in the field. Corey Sherman now in the lucky dog spot with Ty Marasco about half a second back, not making it easy. As the 54 of Gruenberg will shoot to the bottom. He'll try and wrap that inside white line and then get on the loud pedal without breaking traction down low. He'll cut this front stretch all the way to the grass, and he'll be door to door with the 42 heading into 1. The 42 will have the momentum. The question is, can he put the power down? We saw him struggling off of 2. He doesn't. Able to defend the spot from the 54 machine. The 54 already back on the attack. The 42 in the wall off of 2 just a little, but that might be enough for the 54 to clear him. It is. Move Gruenberg to second. Wellman will fall to P number 3, but still in the hunt. And we'll see if the 54 machine can reel the 57 in. As a little bit further back, battle in the lucky dog position area. The 10 trying to get back around the 1 of Ty Marasco. But this isn't for the lucky dog itself. It still is Corey Sherman. So this is what Sherman wants to see in his rear view. These two battling, letting him get on away. The 86 is not battling for position. He is still on the lead lap running P number 14. we look a little bit further up, this is the battle for 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th on the speedway. As John Perkins able to clear the 18 machine. And now Corey Rutherford on the attack may start heating up the back bumper of that 18 ever so slightly here. As we see Taylor Butcher Benjamin reeling in the 3 machine for that lucky dog spot. We'll jump on board with him here, as well as get the in-car shot from the number 17 machine to see not only what he's doing out there on iRacing on board, but to see him wheeling that sim setup here for a lap, trying to reel down that number 3 car. I'll let the car do the talking. You see him in full concentration mode there, folks, really playing with that wheel, being ever so smooth with it, especially on corner entry and when to throttle on up. Trying to do the minimum input you can with scrubbing his little tire. As he goes to the inside of the 3, not quite able to get the run done, but he's heating up the backside of that 3 car for this lucky dog spot in case a caution does come out. As we now have Sam Bumgarn still leading the way, a few cars down pit row, the 16 down, same with the 73 machine. As it'll be pretty soon here, we'll get the green flag pit stops rolling. As Taylor Butcher Benjamin able to get around the 3 machine for the lucky dog spot, and that'll move him up to P number 15. As Kyle Wellman under heavy fire from the 09 machine and the 6 on track. Yeah, I wonder with the 42 machine getting in the wall when Grunberg got around him, if that affected the handling of that 42 machine, because since then he has been a little bit off pace, or if when we first saw him start the run from the onboard from the 57 with him getting loose on corner exit, maybe that's taking a toll that his tires are very hot and not able to put the power down like the fellow competitors around him, as now he's under fire from the 21 machine of Jordan McAvoy. As you hear him get big time loose there on the apex right when you first put the power down. So he is definitely struggling with the handling of that 42 machine. As Tanner Marr and Brian Dees duke it on out, the 4 machine able to sail it on in there and get around him. I move the 4 up to 10th as we have Kyle Wellman and Sam Bumgarner, the race leader, both down pit road. Now that will hand the race lead over to the 54 machine of Matt Grunberg. He will lead a lap. Now the question is, when does the 54 come on in? As we see this time by, the 54 will make it down pit road and just get it to pit road speed. Hauls it up there as fast as he can. The 0933 machine both down as well. The 86 coming on in with the 8 behind him. With the green flag pit cycles going on through, that will hand the race lead over to Derek Paulson in the 6th machine. As we see a whole line of cars down pit road. But when it cycles on through, it looks like Jamie Walker will be the race leader as we jump on board with him. Had a flying pit stop. Oh, but he short pitted everyone by a lot. He pit on lap 86, folks, so he's had quite a few laps on these tires, and that's how he has jumped in front of the 54 and whatnot. As that big group of cars finally rolling out from pit road, they are heading down the backstretch here and merging with the rest of the field. As we are over halfway done in this race, folks. That has definitely flown on by here once again. And with a little bit of time here, we'll maybe crank it up here from the Turn 3 Racing Network and let the cars do the talking here. And we'll crank it up. I'll be back on the other side. Alrighty, folks, and we are coming back here for lap number 100. We have hit triple digits in this race as we have 67 to go with the 88 crossing the line that time by. He is still leading the way but his lead's only down to 1 second over the 54 machine of Gruenberg. You already see him in the background there. That yellow 54 machine on the hunt once again. If you jump back a little bit further here, Dalton Kilrow all over the back bumper of that 33 Torchies machine, trying to get around him, and this would be the battle for P number 6 on the speedway. And the 41 machine able to get the job done on the top side. He will move up into P number 6 as they run. Still Taylor Butcher Benjamin still is the lucky dog as they run if we do get another yellow. One driver we haven't talked about too much here tonight is the 73 machine of Casey Campbell, but I gotta throw him up on screen, folks, because he has one of the best looking sim racing setups. You see that nice Fanatec wheel and rim. That's definitely a nice setup with the Fanatec shifter, of course. Had a sweet drum set. Never get the chance. I definitely have to ask him about that. We see him get in the wall, and you see the force feedback from the wheel for the driver there, really having to fight with it. And you see how much it takes. As holy smokes, we almost had an incident there. That was close. As we see, folks, how much strains really put on these sim racing drivers when they get in the wall, how much force it takes to get it on off of it, as I think he may call that. You may have to bring that thing down pit road for that damage. As we see Matt Gruenberg back out in front here once again. Sam Bumgarnt has taken over second place. Jamie Walker has fallen back to third with that early pit strategy. We'll have to see how that works on out. As now we see the 73 in pit road. As these guys have started spacing on out, folks, getting in their rhythm. But that can only go for so long as we start to approach green flag pit stops here once again in about 10 laps or so. As we ride on board with this 64 machine of Josh Rutherford, now applying the pressure to the 55 of Paul Ellison. This will be the battle for 14th on track. The 64 really able to wrap that white line, especially on corner entry. That 55 very loose, especially on throttle exit. So give 14 to the 64 as the 55 struggling a little bit to put that power down. As Matt Gruenberg continues to lead the way, he's doing everything right but the 57 machine still hanging out there, still not going to make it easy. As the 54 of Grunberg trying to be the first driver to win multiple races this season. He's got to continue to lead the way here for another 50 laps. We'll see if he can get it done. As we hit lap 111, we got a battle heating on up. This is the 4th position here. Derek Paulson has caught the 09 machine of James Miller. And the 6 will try and go low. The 09 machine will shut the door, take the line away from him, and also give him a little bit of dirty air while he's at it. The 6 machine looking very strong, especially on corner exit. He'll go wherever the 09 machine doesn't, as Miller will go to the top side. Paulson down low. Paulson able to get the pass done. Move the 6 into P number 4. As we see the start of green flag pit stops, James Miller is down pit road. We saw him get passed by the 6, so he's saying, I got to come and get the handling better on this race car. Lap number 14. I will throw it up to our commercial. We'll let Savage Edge take over here.
Shut up and sit down.
As we come back to the Kansas Motor Speedway, we see ex-race leader Matt Grunberg on pit road. He has came in for his stop. Now we see the 57 of Sam Bumgarn. We'll roll it down pit road. That'll hand the race lead over to the 6 of Derek Paulson as we are in the heat of green flag pit stops. But be sure to check out SavageEdge.com. They will put your name on anything. as with these guys pitting on this lap, they can just do one more stop and they should be able to make it to the end till lap 166, as we see the 6 machine staying on out another lap. He was one of the latest that pitted in that last green flag pit stops. I assume he'll do the same here for the 6 machine for that MF Racing Designs. As we see some cars rolling out from pit road, we see the 57 machine getting up to speed. They continue to stay on out there as the 55 will try and put himself unlapped from 2 laps down to just only 1 lap down. As we see the 6 get on the binders, we see the backfire. He is heading down pit road. Dalton Kilroy will stay out. Captain Safe Fuel will try and make it at least a little bit further than the rest of the field. We see the 54 of Grunberg unlapping himself the hard way, so he will be the guy to beat as he's already in front of Jamie Walker, who's down there as we hear the 41 calling out. He's coming in this time, folks. As he gets that thing woed on up. The 18 also down, same with the 12. So this will hand the race lead back over to the 54. The last time we're at around, it was pretty close to a mile and a half. I don't think it's quite a mile and a half, but very close, was at Twin Motegi. And this driver was able to get it done. Now we're back at another mile and a half. And that car looking strong as he looks to put the 89 machine of Philip Van Fleet a lap down there. As he is all by himself out here, has a 1.5 second lead over Jamie Walker, and we'll see what the 54 spotter seeing from the top of the grandstands here on this front stretch. As we also got out here at the Kansas Motor Speedway, trying out something different. The world's fastest drone cam here, trying to keep up with the back of these race cars and actually doing a fairly good job at it. As we see the 54 racing in between those seams, folks. That is a big thing here at Kansas that I have not mentioned yet. You want to make sure you put your car in between those 2 seams, because those seams can get your car to loosen up. If you wanted to, you can use a seam to kind of put on your left sides to get the thing to rotate a little bit extra, but with this setup building so loose so quickly, you usually want to split the seams and be right in the middle, right in the consistent grip, right in the consistent patch of the track, and we see that 54 machine doing that to perfection lap after lap here from the world's fastest drone cam presented by Turn 3 Racing Network. Because a little bit further back, we got a battle, and it's for the 9th position. Jason Powell and James Miller. Jason Powell able to get around the 09 machine. And James Miller had a very slow stop, folks. Not sure what happened. Maybe had to get some damage repaired or whatnot, but a whole 14 seconds slower than the rest of the pit stops around him. So, and that's just in his box. That's not on and off pit road. So, interesting from that 09 machine as he's now back in 20th. As I think we got to ride on board with this 54 machine of Matt Grunberg and see what he's doing to make this car so fast. We'll ride along with a lap or two here and see where he's lifting, what this driver's doing as he's reeling in the back of the 55 of Paul Ellison to put him a lap down. As you hear him just drive it in there super deep, folks, and then jump right back on the throttle to get it to drive away from that wall. And that's 100% trust in these cars for this driver. As he gets right to the back bumper of the 55 machine, even jumps on the gas to make sure that he can try and get the position on him, as that 55 is fighting to not go a lap down, but will in fact have to surrender that. So the 55 in 13th, the first car a lap down. Man, the 54 can't get any closer off of turn number 4 than he just did. That one almost had me puckering, folks, but that's probably because we're sitting on the right side of the race car. You know, that wall gets very close. I could never be a passenger. I always loved it back in the day when they had the ride-alongs or whatnot, where they put 2 race car drivers in the TNT machine and go out there and have some fun. I'd always want to be the driver because the passenger, I couldn't do it. It'd stress me out too much. As the 57 machine of Sam Bumgarn able to get around the 88 of Jamie Walker. That will put him into P number 2, but a whopping just under 3 seconds back from our race leader. So these guys will probably need a caution or a very large mistake from our race leader. As with about 33 laps to go, folks, little race recap. We had only 1 yellow flag, and that was right around the stage caution. So that was used up during our stage caution, but since then we have been clean and green so far. 12 cars still on the lead lap. A lot of drivers having trouble on pit road, getting on it and getting it woed down to pit road speed. That's why we see so many drivers a lap down, especially some big names being trapped a lap down as well. One other driver, he's in heavy traffic, but we got an onboard shot from him as well. We'll go on board with the 17 of Brian Dees, as well as throw him up on screen. The gap finder himself, Brian Dees, up on screen as he tries to reel in the drivers in front of him. as he is getting pressured by someone on his left side. You see him in the mirror. See him get around. Now we see the Mark Arthur number 12 machine in the mirror, now door to door with them. So in some high intense battle in here, as we see full concentration from the 17 driver. Now he'll go to the inside and try and follow suit and get around this 21 machine. This is a battle for the position number 8 on track. He's got the 21 machine to his outside here. You see him playing with that wheel, just getting it right. Pretty smooth, pretty consistent, as he is able to clear that 21 machine and move the 17 up into P number 8 as they run. As we will go back to some out of car action here. Derek Paulson has reeled in Dalton Kilrow, and they go door to door into turn number 1. This is the battle for 4th position on the speedway. James Miller, one of the earliest down pit road. He will start off tonight's final green flag pit stop cycle. He's looking to undercut everyone by coming in early. We'll see how it shakes out for the 09 machine. As Dalton was able to defend that position on the top side. Now the 6. I tell you what, he has had awesome runs, awesome traction all night long. And that is definitely the strong suit of that car. As he keeps on applying the pressure to the back bumper of the 41 machine. As we have a few more cars down pit road, the 33, 21, 55, and the 1 all down pit road here. As this time by, the 54 sees 25 laps to go around Kansas Motor Speedway. Derek Paulson slowly catching on back to the back bumper of the 41. The question is, can he do anything? It's one thing to catch him, one thing to get around him. As we see the 57 and the 88 both down pit road here. Now we have to see who else follows suit. As the 41 and the 6 both stay on out on track. We'll put it on the race leader, see if he dives down pit road. It looks like this will be the case. The final scheduled stop for the 54 machine gets a load on down, locks it on up big time to hit pit road speed. He was right on the edge like always. But this will hand the race lead over to Dalton Kilrow in the 41 machine, being pressured heavily by the 6. These guys are going at it because they know if they can get a slight advantage coming to pit road, that could mean a difference of getting back around their fellow competitor. But it also depends on who decides to come in on pit road first. As we see, neither of them come on in. They stay on out, do another lap. As Gruenberg already back on out there, back up to speed. Actually, excuse me, not up to speed, as you see him there getting passed by the race leaders. Just barely going a lap down. That's because these two front runners have not pitted yet. As they almost get to the back bumper of the 4 machine of Tanner Marr. They are reeling him on in. The 71 of Chris Legou. He is also a lap down, but on fresh tires, so he's going to try and unlap himself here. Same with the 42 of Wellerman, now getting around the 54 of Grunberg. Or excuse me, other way around, Grunberg getting around him. As a 71 trying to unlap himself the hard way. Looking like he will be able to do it, as well as the 54 of Grunberg. Hauling on the top side. Woo, the 71 closes the door on him as they go 3 wide down the front stretch here. As we have 20 laps to go, folks. We have 30 miles left to go in this race. As we see the 6 of Derek Paulson coming down pit road, locking them on up, gets a woe down to pit road speed. Now Dalton Kilroe, Captain Fuel Save himself, the only car to not come down pit road yet. As Sam Bumgarner had a pretty good stop, folks, a little quicker than Grunberg, about 2 seconds behind him. I assume that 57 machine is pushing as much as he can. As this time by, we get 19 to go. Here's the gap from the 54 to the 57, about not quite a quarter track, but still a second and a half about between the two runners, the two front runners, once the 41 machine decides to come on down. But stretching it a very impressive amount still out there, and looks like finally wowing up that 41 machine and ducking down to pit road. And looks all clean from him. So now we'll go back to the race leader once he gets around to the front stretch. Grunberg continues to lead the way. Sam Bumgarner is slowly closing in the gap. Now down to a second and a quarter back. So Bumgarner able to slowly reel on up. We'll take a look at the lap times and see the difference here, as Bumgarner was a 10th quicker for the last couple laps, but that time only a 100th quicker. So maybe Grunberg was, saving his stuff, making sure he kept it underneath him. As now they pretty much ran identical laps there on lap 150 the last time by. We'll take a look again at the lap time here. That time at 10 to Grunberg, a little bit quicker. But was that because of the 4? You may never, maybe a little bit, but shouldn't have affected him too much, as the 4 is the first car a lap down. We have lapped up into 11th. Only the top 10 still on the lead lap. As we'll take a look at the time here. This time by. There will be a slight advantage to Grunberg, so maybe both cars have leveled on out now. Maybe Grunberg's like, all right, it's time to push it if I can. Has a very large gap from our top 3 on back. As we look at Brian Dees once again battling with Jordan McAvoy there in the 21 machine. The 17 of Dees down low. grind. He's able to complete the pass. Now move him up into P number 8 as they run. Sam Bumgarn slowly losing some time here. I think the 54 was just making sure he kept enough tire underneath him because his race lead is back to a 2.5 seconds. As this time by for the 54, we will see 11 laps to go. And with coming up in the top 10 to go, we'll throw to our final race commercial of the night, presented by MF Racing Designs. As we come back to Kansas Motor Speedway, we are inside of 10 laps to go. This is where it gets good. If you've been battling with someone, it's time to let it fly. That would be the likes of Jason Powell reeling in the back bumper of John Perkins. This might be the battle for 6th position on track, as Gruenberg has been able to keep the gap to a 2.5 seconds over Sam Bumgarn. Jamie Walker currently running in third. Fourth, Derek Paulson. Rounding out the top 5 is Dalton Kilrow. And then this is the battle for 6th position as we see the 18 get to the inside of the 33. It'll be door to door down the front stretch. The 18 does have fresher tires, so that will give him the advantage. They'll still be door to door going down the backstretch here. The 18 will float it on, sink it on to the bottom side of the racetrack. The 33 will have the run though. Can he put the power down? Looks like it will be, but give the advantage to the 18 as he's about a half a car ahead going into turn number 1. 18 will just have to sink it in one more time and then can slide on up coming off of corner exit, take that run away, and he will do just that. Give P number 6 to the 18 machine. As now the 10 of TBB tries to get around him here. He is currently the first car lap down. He's in the lucky dog spot, but the car right behind him, Mark Arthur, challenging for that lucky dog spot if we do get a late race yellow, because both of these guys are battling for the 16th position, but more importantly, it will be the lucky dog spot. As this time by, we saw for the 54 car, we saw the open palm from the flagman. 5 laps to go around this 1.5 mile speedway of Kansas. Will the 54 in the yellow Nike machine follow the yellow brick road home? Will he find his way to victory lane and be the first repeat winner of the season for the Arca series from Blazing Pedals? We have 4 laps to find out, folks. As this time by, we get 3 laps to go from the 54. All the 54 is thinking about is, let me see that white flag. Just let this race get on over it. Doesn't want to have to worry about strategy or green-white checkers. All he's trying to do is race around this track, hit his marks, and see that white flag. As coming off of turn number 4, this time by the 54, we'll see popsicle sticks up in the air. 2 laps to go. No real changes in the running order. The 54 might put the 1 another lap down here late in this race. The 1 car will go out of the way of the race leader. As this time by, we'll see the white flag being put out. 1 more lap to go. Presented by Butt Kicker for Matt Grunberg. He hit his marks here in 1 and 2. That car looking good. Now he just has to do the same in 3 and 4. Just hit his marks 1 more time, and he will be all set as he comes through 3 and 4 for the final time tonight here, folks. Matt Grunberg will be the first repeat winner and get the job done here at Kansas. Sam Bumgarn will bring it home second. And Jamie Walker, our pole winner, will bring it home in P number 3. We'll be talking to all of these drivers after the race. But first, we'll let the 54 bring it around to the front stretch and burn it on down. Then we'll go to commercial break. Then we'll talk to all of these drivers. As what another great run from Grunberg. Up 28 positions once again, all the way from the back. So that guy is on rails. I can't wait to talk to him after this race again. As he will bring it down to the front stretch here, and we'll see what he's got to burn it out for these fans here at Kansas. As we try and get the right camera angle, folks. This one's pretty good. As we see the 54 machine burning it on down on the front stretch. We'll go throw it to commercial break, and on the other side, we will talk to our top 3 finishers.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here on the other side. We'll dial up our 3rd place finisher. That will be the 88 machine of Jamie Walker. Jamie, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, I got you guys. Go ahead.
Alrighty, how was this 88 machine here tonight? It seemed like you had some pretty good speed and as you put it on the pole.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I just got a little off sequence of everybody else there, and I couldn't make up the time running the bottom. Just the only place my car felt good is down there. So like I said, I just got off sequence, couldn't make up the time.
Ah, dang. Well, it seemed like you had some, like you said, some pretty good speed. Seemed like you were liking the bottom, like you said, but a different paint scheme out of this 88 machine. Was it because of night race, or did you feel like changing it up from the Menards machine?
I don't know. Ben seemed to have pretty bad luck for that Menards machine. I mean, dominating a race last week and then just get destroyed. So yeah, just maybe a different paint scheme, to kind of hide out from other people. But I'd like to thank Mark. No, not Mark, but Corey Rutherford. He come up with this paint scheme for me, and I just can't thank him enough, man. He did an awesome job on this car.
Yeah, it definitely looks pretty sweet. The orange and black, always a good color combo. I was wondering what Mountain Dew it was. It looks like it's the Live Wire. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I'm a Mountain Dew fan all the way around.
Alrighty. What's your favorite Mountain Dew?
I gotta stick with the standard, but this year's a close second.
Alrighty. Yep. You can't go wrong with the Mountain Dew, the normal one. Always a classic. Always such a good drink. Well, Jamie, it was a heck of a run. Finally glad to talk to you here because, like you said, you always seem to have some sort of luck or whatever to prevent you from getting up on the podium. Now you're here. I'm sure there's got to be a lot of people you got to thank for this 88 camp here.
And first and foremost, I gotta thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule to doing what you do to watch us crazy morons run around the track. Mark for putting on this league, man, he's been doing an awesome job the past, I don't know, it's been 5 years now, and this everybody in Blazing Pedals is just doing an outstanding job.
Yeah, it's a heck of a job to watch you guys. It's always a pleasure. I always enjoy the competition out here because it's always action packed. Some good racing out here, and it's always fun to watch you out here. Especially, you always seem like you're in the top 5 in qualifying and practice, and now you finally got a race result, Jamie. So, congratulations on the 3rd place. But looking forward, what's the goals for this 88 machine before we let you go?
Hopefully, we can continue to move forward here with some good runs, and who knows, maybe we'll find myself in victory lane soon. Maybe just the start of something.
There we go. You got to keep on rolling with the right direction, with the good results, and I wish you the best luck, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you sometime in the future. So, Jamie, you have yourself a great rest of your night. Go enjoy this 3rd place finish.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Alrighty, that was our 3rd place finisher, Jamie Walker, in the number 88 machine. Now we'll dial up our 2nd place finisher of Sam Bumgarden. Sam, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, I got you, Brett.
Alrighty, man. How was this number 57 machine here tonight? It seemed like you had a lot of speed in, especially mid-run speed, but not quite enough for the 54. Why don't you walk us through it for the viewers at home?
Yeah, it was basically just trying to get to that competition caution there. Once we got there, it was just all out pretty much the rest of the way. We could take tires the rest of the way, and I thought I had a really good car, and it looked like me and Matt were running pretty identical lap times. I was a little slower. Sometimes he was a little bit slower. Basically just tried my heart out just trying to catch him, but we ended up losing the lead. We came out of the pits, got caught behind some lap traffic, and when the pit cycled out, Matt ended up with the lead, and I think that's just when he kind of walked away with it. Clean air helps a little bit. It's not too terrible in dirty air, but we gave it our best shot, came home 2nd, and we'll take that.
Yeah, definitely a great run from this 57 machine. Nothing to laugh at or runner-up, especially to Gruenberg, who this late in the season is the first repeat winner from Blazing Pedals, so it just shows you the competition level we have out here tonight. But Sam, it seemed like that car was fast. Pit road was a little bit tricky for a lot of drivers. You were able to navigate it without any penalties. Why don't you walk us through what it was like sailing it down onto pit road here tonight?
It was kind of weird because I was trying to play strategy, like short pit somebody. Like I was trying to short pit Gruenberg there on the last stop. And the way I felt I gave it away was I've been running the top all night. And as soon as I would dive low in 3 and 4, that's how you knew I was pitting. Getting on pit road, I mean, I locked it up once and I thought I sped coming off, but I didn't. So we got lucky there. It's just a clean race overall. We got a 0x and second place. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better race, honestly.
Yeah, especially here at Kansas, Sam. A 0x goes a long way, especially with ripping the top, being so close to that wall. If you can come home with a clean car from here, it's definitely a big box that is checked off the checklist for a good race. So an awesome job from this 57 team. But before we let you go and celebrate this runner-up finish, I'll hand over the mic to you and let you thank for whoever you got to for this 57 team.
I want to shout out my team, Speed Mafia. Great group of guys. We work really well together. So thank you guys for letting me on Speed Mafia, and let's go keep getting good finishes. Savage Edge Graphics, CJR Graphics, MF Racing Designs, Mullet Music Productions, Nexev Media, and TRJ Karting, of course. And as always, you for putting on a broadcast.
Alrighty, Sam. Well, thank you for putting on a great show. It's always fun watching this 57 machine make his way through this field and go enjoy this runner-up finish. But I know you want that next spot up.
Yeah, maybe we'll get it next time. We're going to Martinsville, so definitely a challenging track, but we'll see where we can't come out at Martinsville. Maybe we'll come out on top.
There you go, Sam. Well, you have yourself a great rest of the night and have a good one.
Thanks, Brett.
Alrighty, now we'll head down to Victory Lane and dial up Matt Gruenberg, our race winner. Matt, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Alrighty, man. This 54 machine was once again on rails. How was it driving for you? And once again, got that good pit selection at the back of pit road and drove yourself through this field once again.
Yeah, the car felt pretty good on all sorts of the runs early on and middle and late in the run. So I think that really helped our speed during the entire run. So that was a really big contributor to the win, I guess.
Yeah, Matt. And before we have you continue about this, I got to throw a little curveball in here. I was actually out there racing against you out there at Richmond last Thursday for that Road to Pro Racing. I tell you what, from first-hand experience, you're one heck of a competitor.
Yeah. What car were you in, or what number was you?
So I was the 30 or the 71 slapped on the side of it, kind of the gray truck with the shark mouth for the Brett the Jet. Not one of my best paint schemes, but
Yeah, I remember you now. I had my custom paints on that race. I saw that 71 scheme.
nice. Yeah, it was definitely a pleasure racing you at Richmond. That was a tough race in itself, and I forget where you ended up, Matt, but I remember battling you, and I'm like, oh man, I hopefully can talk to him next week at Kansas here and get his take of that Richmond race.
Yeah, that was an interesting race. I thought we would have more green flag runs, but it just seemed like they were spinning for last quite often.
Yeah, exactly. Then we had that green-white checkered at the end. And I'm like, oh, please don't die. Please don't die. Please don't have anyone send it up my inside.
Yeah. I was sleeping on that final restart, and I ended up getting passed by, I think, Brian. I would have had the top 10. I think that actually hurt you as well. It looks like on the race results, he got past you.
Yeah, I just got beat in a drag race, by him to just finish 10th. But, yeah, Matt, going back to now tonight here at Kansas, overall, awesome race. First repeat winner. I think we'll see this 54 machine definitely back up here and maybe in Victory Lane. How do you feel about Martinsville?
I think we usually do pretty good at Martinsville. I can't say that it's one of my favorite tracks to go to, though. I wouldn't say I'm looking forward to it, but we tend to do pretty good there.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've been the last mile and a half race we had, you won it, or just about that. That'd be Twin Motegi, and now here tonight, you once again parked it in Victory Lane. So you definitely have these mile and a half down, but I bet any track we go to, we'll see this 54 machine challenging for a race win. But Matt, before we let you go and celebrate it down in Victory Lane, I got to hand over the mic to you, and I'm sure you got a whole bunch of people you got to shout out for this 54 team here tonight.
Yeah, I just want to thank the league sponsors for keeping the league going and funded, and Team AV, Jeffrey and James for the paints. They do a really great job, and the rest of Team AV for racing with us each week. Congrats on Jordan and James for their top 10s tonight. They had good runs, and I think Race was having a great run as well, but he ended up getting a penalty on pit road there at the end that kind of ruined his race. But all in all, I think it was a great night for Team AV, and hopefully we'll build on this momentum for next week.
Yep, that is for sure, Matt. You have yourself a great rest of the night. Go celebrate down Victory Lane. I'm going to go wrap up in the booth, but I'll come join you down for the post-race ceremonies and have some fun down in Victory Lane. So, Matt, you have yourself a great rest of the night. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again here in the future.
Thank you, you too.
Alrighty, folks, that was our race winner, Matt Grunberg, getting it done. The first repeat winner of the season. He parks at home in Victory Lane as we see him rolling off here. But, folks, a great race. Once again, from the Blazing Pedal Arca series, we see the ticker scrolling on the top here. But now we'll go over the race results from Kansas, and we see Matt Grunberg for Team AV in the 54 machine. Parks it in Victory Lane. Second is Sam Bumgarn in the 57. Third goes to Jamie Walker in the 88. Fourth is Derek Paulson in the 6. He had a heck of a car underneath him, had some awesome traction on off all night long. And Captain Fuel Save himself, Don Kilroe in the 41, rounds out the top 5. Jason Powell in the 18 brings it home in 6th. 7th is John Perkins in the 33. 8th is Brian Dees in the 17. 9th is Jordan McAvoy in the 21. And rounding out the top 10 goes to James Miller in the 09. Tanner Marr in the 4 brings it home 11th. Terry Foster in the 86. 12th. 13th is Paul Ellison in the 55. 14th, Josh Rutherford in the 64. Kyle Wellman in the 42. Brings it home 15th. 16th is Mark Arthur in the 12. 17th is TBB in the 10. 18th is Corey Sherman in the 3. 19th goes to Ty Marasco in the 1. 20th is Race Clark in the 02. Brandon Feeney in the 38 brings it home 21st. 22nd is Phil Van Fleet in the 89. 23rd is Randy McAvoy. 24th is Corey Rutherford. 25th is Amanda Sherman. 26th goes to Chris Carroll. 27th, Chris Legou. 28th, Joe Albrico. 29th, Rick Hammond. 30th is Casey Campbell. Ian Habiak brings it home 31st. 32nd, Blake Decker. And then those who did not start would be Cody Gibson and Nick Akiye. So, folks, that rounds out our finishing order. Matt Grunberg gets the job done, becomes the first repeat winner. And this season just getting rolling. Race number 6 of 32 in the books. And another awesome race. Only one yellow flag. And it's only going to be crazier as we head to Martinsville next week. One of the shortest tracks on the schedule will be at the half-mile paperclip. So be sure to tune in. Same time, same place next week. Of course, we got to give a shout-out to TRJ Karting. Be sure to check them on out for all of your karting needs. MF Racing Designs. Be sure to check them out on Facebook for any iRacing designs you need. Also, Savage Edge. Be sure to check them out at savageedge.com. They'll put your name on anything. And if you want to upgrade your sim setup to the next level, be sure to check out Butt Kicker. As well as you're checking out stuff, be sure to tune in to Turn 3 Racing Network throughout the week. All sorts of good races, all sorts of good broadcasting going on. Be sure to check out all the racing action any day of the week on the Turn 3 Racing Network. This has, of course, been Brett the Jet on the mic. Hopefully everyone is having a great night. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it out there. We got a lot of live viewers, a lot of people in chat, so got to give a shout out to each and every one of you. Be sure to keep it on up. I always love interacting with the fans, with the race, so be sure to keep on leaving comments. And I think that's about does it, folks. So everyone have a safe rest of your night. Everyone have a good weekend. Be sure to tune back in next week. And for myself from Turn 3 Racing Network, have a great night. This has been Brett the Jet on the mic. And just remember, folks, just flew by you. Have a good one.